Greetings, everyone. Welcome to my sketchbook. I'm still thinking about some of the fun things about playing outside. So, open up my inkwell. Let's zoom in immediately here. Let's go to this sort of distance. I think that'll be all right. We'll lock it down. If you've been to my sketchbook before, you know that I like to make a little bit of a mess sometimes. And, well, that's just how it goes. Sometimes I don't draw things that are, visually stunning. I just like to empty out my brain. But this is going to be something zany. What kind of room do I have here? Okay, well, if you've been here before, you also know that I don't spend a lot of time with pre-drawing things. Like, I'm not going to sketch on the page first in pencil. If I make a mess, that is fine with me, because here in my sketchbook, I'm not trying to do perfect things. You might see where I'm going with this. So as a kid, I can recall one of the most wondrous pieces of playground equipment. Yes, we had Mario Brown, or Mario Browns, Mario merry-go-rounds. We had monkey bars. We had the teeter-totter, which, that'd be a funny sort of drawing coming up as well. But this was the real deal. This was the swing set. Limited amount of seats, of course, with this one. Let's go with 3. Not a lot of room to do this. Down here, you'd have kind of like a wear spot for each one of the swing sets, or each one of the swings, I should say, because you drag your feet along the ground. Okay. And with this particular swing set, I'm going to have it so this swing is not in use. And I'm going to have it so that this one is not in use. And why, you might ask? Why would it not be in use? Well, right up here. This was one of my childhood dreams. I wonder if that's going to be long enough. I think so. Let's see. Oh, and by the way, not that I should have to give people warning about this kind of stuff, but please don't attempt to do what I'm drawing here. This is just one of those silly things. So if you're an adult and you're like, oh yes, that reminds me, I missed out on doing this when I was a kid, please don't do this. Because I don't see the point in getting hurt for this ridiculous thing. My dream was to do a wraparound. At least that's what I called it, and that's what my little buddies called it as well. And the idea was to get on a swing set and maybe push so hard that you could wrap all the way around. Now, as a kid, I probably didn't really think about, actually, let's go with little pigtails, because I think that could be funny. Yeah. So there's the swing. Gotta bring this other rope down. Let's say right about here, we lost our hat. They were wearing like an Easter bonnet, or not a bonnet. What do they call this type of wide brim hat? So yeah, this was the greatest accomplishment as far as I was concerned. If you could do this, then you were really doing something. Not a great picture. Let's call this. Now, I think it's good to pursue a dream. I think it's great to have dreams that don't come true, because the pursuit sometimes is the best part. The hunt might be the best part. And if you were to realize that dream, you might stop trying in other things. But this, to me, as a kid, I wasn't into gymnastics, but there were things that I could do. I could do handstands and flips and all that kind of stuff. But I remember going up to, uh, I forget what they call that singular bar, because it wasn't like the uneven ones. There was a single bar that they had, and I could go up to it, walk across it, and do a handstand. And then one day I figured out that, my grip was good enough that I could kind of like flop down, swing, and get up to the top again, and then continue to do that by swinging my legs. Well, the interesting thing about that, I was told after, that's called a giant. I was able to do that and not just like fly off into the wind or whatever, but to do that on the swing. See, I never realized that at the top here, this wasn't meant to rotate, and I should have caught on, because some of the bigger kids would kind of ruin the fun by grabbing onto the seat and wrapping the seat around that bar up there. So this chain or rope would actually get shorter every rotation. As a kid, you didn't think about that. You knew it happened, but I thought if I was on this, like, I would just infinitely wrap around. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to kind of create, if it'll do it, a little bit of rotational streaks very lightly for our little friend Anne here. All right, that's it. I didn't say this was going to be like totally amazing, but I mean, sometimes I just like to get ideas out of my head, and I don't know if that's zoomed in well enough there. You know what? I could just zoom in, see what that looks like. Yeah, it's all right. All right, folks, that's it. Just getting an idea out of my head. I think that's kind of funny. And it's not really wanting to zoom in nicely for me. There you go. Lost the hat. Doing the wraparound. I don't think it needs to stay there. Have a great day, everyone. And by the way, I'll say it again, please don't try to do this. I don't want anyone to get hurt saying that some, guy doodled out a picture and now that's the dream and now that you're going to try it. Anyway, please don't. But pursue it. Just try to get to like here. And please don't be one of those kids that thinks it's, as an adult, to swing around really high and then jump off here. because that moment of flight that you're going to get is going to have a reality check when you land over here, and it's not going to be awesome. It's not going to be awesome. That's it. Have a great day, everyone. Ciao for now.